good lead magnet would be?
Yeah.
Bro, we can't even get them to make a landing page that, is proper. Like,
I know, but I still want to know what we should do when we can.
I think it would just be your free course. Like your course on YouTube automation.
Yeah.
Oh, but we should have something for creators that have nothing to do with YouTube.
Okay. One thing. One of Mr. Beast's PDFs of like that shows how he goes viral, or that he gives to his employees, got leaked, but most people don't know about it.
You probably leaked it for like publicity.
Yeah, that's possible, but most people don't even know that it got leaked. So we could just give that out as our lead magnet.
But they'll probably wait. How do most people not know?
Or like it happened like a year or two ago. Like most people probably forgot about it.
Yeah,
like.
but oh wait, hold on. You're on that.
Yo. What's a white glove service?
I don't know. I think it's like the white label service, like,
Really, I would think it means like
Yeah,
a one-to-one, like you get walked through.
Yeah, I thought that was also.
Like, cause like a doorman wears white gloves, right? Or no?
I don't know.
If you could provide more value where it's worth more than 10%, I'd be down. Anyway, let's see if we could offer that are worth that juicy 10% or potentially even higher eyeballs.
actually, I mean, I've been working more than like 6-7 hours every day at least. And
Really?
yeah, like I mean, I'm considering my own project work as part of it.
Oh, okay.
But like, you know, we keep having calls. I'm considering everything we've done for the like last couple hours work as well.
Yeah, I feel like we're from like 3:30 to 4:30, and then no, maybe to 5:30. Did we do something after?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just know it's been like long
Yeah.
times because again, yeah, even at night I'm just looking over, you know, fucking Opus Pro and trying to see like,
Oh yeah.
you know, what I can try to figure out from there in terms of shorts. I also wanted to ask you, like, do you mind if I run because apparently like promotions is like really bad targeting. So if I like run a couple like $2 campaigns on my videos.
Yeah, that's fine.
For the ad library. Okay, cool. What was I saying? No, but yeah, it like.
You were gonna talk to me
it
about the
doesn't feel
anime
like,
industry.
Yeah, I was gonna. I'm
Oh,
gonna do
okay.
that anyway, but
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't feel like work at all. Like I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
fucking exhausted. I feel like tired sometimes at the end of the day, but I also feel like satisfying.
Yeah, dude, I know. I watched. Wait, can I show you a video Cooper sent me that really reminded me of.
Sometimes, you know, just the other day I was out. A lot of times I meet people who know me from actual life that work. You know, fans.
This guy. Do you
Why
know
is
this
it
guy?
so fast?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
But wait, do you know what he does?
No.
He posts like long, like 3-hour videos talking about like, I don't know, like self-discovery, finding meaning, like that type of stuff. That like really have. I think his channel is like 800K subs. Like really has helped a lot of people just going in depth on these things.
In my hands, stuff like that. And a lot of times I'll say, "Oh my God, you're so extroverted." And in my mind, I'm thinking like,
Pause though. I really do believe though content like that, like what do you call it?
Ultra long form.
No, where like people just watch content like that instead of doing anything.
Oh,
with it.
mental masturbation.
Yeah, like I really think that's a very real thing.
Oh yeah.
Because like it's only really after I like stopped watching stuff like that I really started getting going.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like you have to just cultivate a toolkit with that and then just forget about it, because otherwise you keep feeling satisfaction after watching.
Yeah,
and
without
it's just
having
completely
actually
false.
done anything. Yeah.
Like I actually think a lot of people are just
Mentally.
trapped by that. It's like better than the alternative of not having it.
But it's
you have
not.
To move
Yeah.
beyond that.
Yeah.
I really think you do, because I used to feel like, oh yeah, I'm just studying, bro. I'm studying. I'm just learning, but like it wasn't until just
Actually
by chance,
doing shit.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't a choice. I didn't just stop. Just by chance, I started getting interested in other things, and because I stopped watching it, I didn't have that satisfaction from it, and I started to get it from other stuff, with like actually productive, making stuff.
Yeah.
Doing stuff that I think is productive instead of just feeling productive because I'm watching, a productivity or meaning related thing. Like it's.
No, that's why we joke about how Chris Williamson is the only one actually doing the thing, bro.
No, I think it's, bro. I actually.
It's probably true though. It's probably true.
I think it's.
Wait, do you want to put this close? I'm just worried it won't pick you up fully. I don't know.
I'm gonna hold it like this.
Oh yeah, that'll pick you up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, wait, but let me show you like.
It's a nightmare.
you have no fucking idea what I had to go through to make myself seem this extroverted. Right? It's like years fucking grinding through, going out, doing shit that I fucking hated doing to make myself seem this extroverted, charismatic. It's like you have no fucking idea how shy I was. The most fulfilling aspect of life is who you're going to become by working your ass off to evolve and to grow yourself. And the deepest challenges you're going to face, your own deepest inner demons you're going to face to actualize your full potential. That's what makes life meaningful and fulfilling. Taking on that challenge willingly and joyfully. That's like a noble warrior going into battle. That's the hero's journey. Life is like a game. Life is like a simulator, right? And a game only works when there's
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I just can't take content like that seriously anymore.
It's too mental masturbating.
Yes, I just kind of roll my eyes at that now. Like, I'm not beyond it or anything.
Yeah.
But if it's not coming from somebody I know or that I found, it's just, my mind is always like, is this guy doing this for views? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I feel like...
I'm sure he's not, but
it's
just, I can't.
No, for me, my point is, I don't care if it's
I
mental
agree with everything
masturbation
he's
or not.
saying.
Yeah, my point is that's just, for me, that's like true.
Yeah,
which is
sure.
like really
I
like the
agree.
most fulfillment out of stuff is when is like doing the stuff that we're working on right now, which is like growing out of my old self of not knowing how to, of being unskilled, not being like less competent, like.
Yeah, but again, it just makes it seem like the only way to grow is to fight your inner demons. Like,
Yeah, which that's clownish.
What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
But again, it did feel like that at some point, where like that's like the most meaningful thing. I'm not fighting any demons doing this.
Yeah, no.
It's just fun and productive and great.
Yeah, this also
different aspects
also
of
the
life.
idea that that's definitely the most meaningful thing. It's like you could definitely find more meaning, like.
I'm sure there's aspects of that in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even in parenting, for example.
Yeah.
Like, you see a lot of like what your parents might have failed you with, or what you're worried you might fail with that your parents did amazingly. But again, like, I don't know, you're not going to get that from a short.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to figure it out by just living and doing stuff. And
Yeah.
like, I really think the whole mental masturbation idea holds weight.
Yeah.
Which is a big shift from how I used to think about it before, I guess. But anyway, let me get to the actual fucking stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, context, yeah. So, like I said, I've been, since like last 6 months or 8 months or so, whatever, have been a lot more focused on like economics, Austrian economics primarily, money, entrepreneurship, and that part of the world, I guess. And like, it's hard to properly estimate like how much that connects and impacts everything, just like philosophy does. That's why, probably this interests me as well. It's like so, productive.
Interdisciplinary.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It connects so many things. And properly understanding it is very, useful and interesting. And it just allows me to see the world in a whole new lens, right? That is actually useful. And so, like, for my oral communication class, we have to give this speech about a controversy or issue that you care about, right? So the easy one that comes to mind for me is the anime workers thing that I went to Japan
I thought the easiest one that would come to your mind would be government.
I'm not going to say that in class. Are you crazy? What are you talking
That's
about?
not, I mean, I don't feel
and it's also not a social issue. It's literally like way too big. It's like trying to solve hunger. Like,
I mean, I don't think large government is like a crazy. You could at least say
it's
for
not focused enough.
deregulation.
They want a specific social issue,
okay.
and it doesn't fit into what they conceive as a proper, issue for that. I would agree with you. That would be fine to talk about, but they don't.
Okay.
And it's definitely not like a focused social issue, which I agree with.
Yeah.
You could talk about government corruption specifically in like Harlem or something.
Yeah.
Or like a specific place. Probably has to be a minority place, because any other place. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that on camera. But anyway, so yeah, the anime workers thing. I don't know how much you remember about that, but basically,
I think I remember a good bit.
Yeah, they're like super low wages for highly specialized work. They have to get a degree to animate.
Yeah.
So they have to get, and they earn less than proportionally what a McDonald's worker would be earning in an hour.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
It is. And so back then I didn't really have a full, like, again, you don't know what kind of understanding you're going to have until you understand certain things.
Yeah.
Right? Certain lenses, if you don't have them. Like, for example, how you look at certain issues as a child is super black and white. And you can't give the child the understanding of what they don't yet have, in terms of a lens to look at an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so back then it was just more like, how do I solve this problem without totally understanding what the problem is? And to me, I looked at it, solutions that people have tried in the past, like unionization or government intervention, minimum wages, something like that. And like, over the last year, as my views have evolved and what I've come to learn about economics, I don't believe in any of that crap. And even if I did think that, in certain places at certain times it might be helpful, I also think it could be, super destructive, because the quote unquote problem in that industry is actually an oversupply of labor. And like, I never looked at that part of it a year ago. And this is me we're talking about. We're not talking about some, loon who just thinks the world is unfair in every aspect of everything. There's just a ton of people that love anime and want to work as an animator. And there's always somebody willing to do it for cheaper.
Right. Yeah, this problem is like starting to arise with like, I don't know if you saw like all the memes about like computer science majors becoming homeless.
No, but that makes
because
sense.
like there's so like, okay, part of it is the advent of AI, but like the other part of it is just so like, like it just got saturated because like so many people were like, oh, you can make a lot as a software engineer, so I'm just going to do CS. And then
someone's like, oh, it's unfair that they're getting paid this much. It's like, no, it's not unfair. It's a terrible situation, but it's not unfair. That's the wrong word, and that matters. Because again, it should, like, the other problem is in the anime industry, like, they're exporting labor a ton, okay? So they export their labor to India and China. And
that's fucked.
Yeah, who would do such a thing?
That's fucked.
I looked at the camera.
No, but there's also a difference between like doing it at our scale when like.
No, I don't think there's any moral difference. I disagree with that. But anyway, I think neither one is morally a bad thing, because again, is the Indian person of less value? Should he have less of an opportunity?
What do you mean less of an opportunity?
Less of an opportunity than the Japanese person just because he's Japanese. And someone would make the argument, well, it's the government's responsibility to protect their people. I don't believe in any of that stuff.
Well, no, I guess the point would be like, well, there's 2 points, right? One is that like they didn't choose where they were born. And now simply because of the fact that they're
unfair.
Born.
That's the unfair starting point that everyone has.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't choose to have any of the issues that I have.
Yeah.
But like that's what it is.
Okay.
And so.
But then the point would be like, that's where people consider that exploitation, especially if.
But that's as much exploitation as anything else is. Like.
Well, but in a lot of cases.
To give the job to a higher IQ person is exploitation.
No, because you get a better outcome in that case.
You get a better outcome choosing the Indian because it's a lower
the price.
Yes.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it might even be more skilled because they have more time and they are willing to work more hours in worse conditions.
Yeah, true.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, yeah, I agree. It's the same level of exploitation as anything.
Which means it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like if a definition
can mean anything, yeah.
Yeah, if a definition expands to the point where it can encompass everything, it's not a useful definition.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but again, I didn't really think about this that deeply before from the problem perspective. And now I've come to this realization that it's not unfair. It's just a situation that is terrible and that I want to find a way to fix. But the way to fix it can't be something that might just make the whole thing worse.
Right, yeah.
And
like shifting workers' preferences through force.
Yeah, or forcing companies to
pay higher wages even though they wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows how the market economics work, and they might just all go to a different industry, and then the anime industry that I love collapses.
Yeah. So your hypothesis is that there is a way to solve this through volunteerism, basically? Without tyranny.
Well, so this is the thing, right? I thought this was, at the time, when I don't know if you remember me telling you this, but I told you, like, I've figured out the problem. I basically have to solve one of the hardest problems in economics, which is, what do you do with the fact that when there's globalization, you can just export the labor to whoever the cheapest person is, and there's always going to be someone willing to do it for cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's like, at the time, I thought this was basically unsolvable. Now I think it's actually pretty simple. You just have to do what Mark Cuban did. This is an extremely locked up, culturally hegemonous industry. I don't know if hegemonous is a word. Hegemonified. It's a very, very locked up industry, and you could look at it very similarly to the pharmaceutical industry in America.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's doing is being an artificial disruptor. He's someone that can't be bought. He's someone with a high moral fiber. He's someone that cares about this issue. And he's someone that can actually make an impact because of the resources he has. That's what you need in the anime industry. You need someone who can outcompete by being more generous and, have an artificial way to bypass the existing conditions of the industry. So one of the problems right now, and this is a problem in every sector that has entertainment and merchandise, is that the creators, animators, creatives, whatever you want to call them, have no access to the real source of revenue in that industry, which is the merchandising.
Right.
So this happens in Pixar and everything. Like the merchandising, the toys, the plushies, everything, that's where the real money is. But they don't have access to any of that. And so what you need is for someone to come in and make a company where, they, again, have high moral fiber, they have enough resources where they can't be bought, and that they can actually make a real impact, and that they can choose to allocate those resources or a percentage of those resources to the creatives and the creators just because they care. Just because they care about the industry not collapsing, that they care about, the product of that industry continuing to come
And are you suggesting just operating at less of a profit?
Yeah.
Or just
because there's huge amounts
trying
of
to
profit.
fund that through some other thing. Like
No.
Trying to say, okay, well, we're going to
profit.
pay them fair wages, but we're gonna
we don't even need to pay them
but we're gonna
quote-unquote fair
pay
pages.
someone else
Fair pages.
cheaper.
We don't even need to pay them quote unquote fair wages. We just need to give them a percentage of everything that arises from their work product.
Yeah.
Because, then, because the anime industry is like $1 billion industry, a multi-billion dollar industry. There's tons of profit to be had. It just needs to be, redistributed without force.
Yeah.
And when you do that, the other companies are now forced to compete with you. And so...
Well, you would have to make good enough films, though, and sell it out quickly and scale quick enough.
No, I don't have to do it quick. Because, again, you can start small.
Well, but even if...
Up.
Yeah,
That's
but you
what Mark Cuban's
can't...
doing.
No, but the other ones... Okay, yeah. But you do have to scale it, to get to the point, though, where other companies say, shoot, okay, we have to pay our animators more. You have to be, like, a serious player.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah,
of course. But that's, again, this is the Mark Cuban strategy.
Yeah.
Like, he's starting small, and over time, the locked-up industry I mean, I don't even know if the anime industry
How much progress has he made on that so far? Like, are the other pharmaceutical companies like, shit, I do have to make my drug cheaper now?
I don't know. But
with certain probably with certain specific drugs, maybe.
I don't know.
Or something.
But if he thinks he can do it, I think someone else
can do it for the anime.
Can do it in the anime industry, because I don't think it's I don't know for sure, but I don't think it's as locked up in government intervention as the pharmaceutical industry.
Right.
is.
There's no like government patents that are just getting renewed 20 million times in a row.
All you have is artists that need a better option, and now there might be a lot of cultural factors like. But people in Japan also just think that people should be working for that low of a wage because it's just hard work, and you should work. Like, there shouldn't be any sort of handout kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then also the cultural factor of some other foreigner coming in, right? Like, by the time I'm ready to do this, hopefully, Japan's a little more liberal in that sense.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I think, again, this is the obvious solution that I wouldn't have and couldn't have expected myself to, see a year ago. And so it's just a very interesting.
Do you think
shift
it's
for
the
me.
best solution?
I think it's the obvious one to me for now. I don't know. I don't care about if it's the best or not. I wouldn't know.
Do you think it's definitely better than anything that involves government intervention
Obviously.
or
Obviously, I think that. And I can come up
but
with
you think of it
explanations
because
for
you think it will solve it better, or because you think that you could solve it without the immorality, even if it's not solved like as quick?
I think it would
for
solve it
example?
more sustainably, yeah.
Right, okay. But do you think in the short
But
term
that is
maybe a
better.
government policy could solve it quicker,
No,
but less
I think
sustainably?
it could also just
But
blow
less
the whole thing up.
sustainably. Yeah.
I think it could also, in the short term, blow it up.
Okay.
So, like all again, it depends on how much they do, right? But they could do it in a way that just makes everyone in that industry go, we're just going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
We'll make our movies from India. You
Yeah.
made it so expensive that we're just going to shift our headquarters there. India will take us because we're bringing them billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, you can't coerce
Oh,
other countries.
Wait, bro, I have another idea I wanted to talk to you about. Remember how we were talking about, this reminds me of what you just said. Remember how we were talking about how if you want to leave a country, like I think you should be able to leave, or a country should fund you leaving?
Yeah. Sorry, I just had an idea.
Okay. Should I let
I'm
you
just
write that
gonna
down?
Write it down real quick.
Yeah, write that down. Right.
As long as it's not about their power. And some industries aren't really a feel. I don't know. Think about it later. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so okay, remember how I said every country should have a it's legitimate if every country makes it so that anyone can leave anytime. What this kind of reminded me of an idea. So you know what dark patterns are?
It's still not. It's still not unless like they, I don't know, send out a contract to every person that's already there, being like, do you want to be here? And like.
Yeah, but I know even just that thing, it's not fully, but even that element of it is important. Would be an important step for you.
Sure.
Okay. So do you know what dark?
Practically, yes.
Yeah. Do you know what dark patterns are?
No.
Okay, so this is like in UX when there's like highly deceptive tactics that are used, especially to try to make more money. So like one of the biggest examples of this is like something that's really easy to sign up for but really difficult to cancel. There was like a notorious one where you could sign up online, but to cancel you had to go in person to like their headquarters.
Yeah.
So if you signed up for the magazine online, you couldn't cancel unless you went in person. So
tangent, like, do you know what Alex Hormozy says on this, right?
No.
Like, his thing is, I always make it super easy to cancel. Not because, like, I don't think he said it, but the reason isn't, like, that's moral or anything. It's because there's no point, according to him, to, like, force people to stay there. Because what's worse than a customer leaving is a customer just ignoring you or, like, becoming, hostile or dormant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you want people to be there because they want to be there. Unless you're, locking them into a subscription service and they're just paying you. I guess that they're, I don't know. Like, yeah,
well, I guess the point is there's no sustainability or really enterprise value to the business if the person was asked about the business and they wouldn't say like, oh, it was great.
Yeah.
And like I'm happy to still be paying to fund it or something. But yeah, like one of the things that was suggested for when to deal with dark patterns like that, and I think a policy that's regularly now starting to be implemented.
Well, what's the dark pattern again?
It's like that cancellation example is an
what,
example.
What makes that a dark pattern?
That it's extremely deceptive.
Oh, okay.
Right, so like the person when they sign up, they have no idea that it's going to be that hard to cancel, and if they knew, they wouldn't have joined.
Yeah.
So, but there's a million things like this. Like another example is like that checkbox where it's like, by checking this box, like they have ones where, so you know how normally it's like by checking this box you consent to email notifications.
Yeah.
There's one that's like the reverse of it. Like it says like by unchecking this box, like it starts unchecked. And it says like by unchecking this box you consent to, and so then people think like, yeah. So just extremely deceptive practices to just try to make more money usually.
I mean, I don't mind that to be honest.
Yeah, I mean there's a big gray area for me because like again,
if it's for stuff like emails, you know, like if it's charging you, then I see more of a problem with it.
Yeah.
Personally, but
same.
I mean, I think it's a bad practice anyway if you're not charging them.
Yeah.
Because, like, why are you forcing this person to be in your business ecosystem? Like, they don't want.
Well, because then they might convert later, even if
they're less likely to because you've deceived them now.
Well, they might not. They're not going to realize like when they get an email from you 2 days later that it's because I clicked the unchecked thing. If they're making it easy to
cancel, then sure. But if they're also making it hard to cancel, then they're gonna.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest crimes part of it.
Yeah, so if the
I can go through
deceptive tactic that they use ends up, bringing a user to something that they actually value, then I have no problem with it at all.
Yeah, usually the dark patterns are getting the user to do something that they wouldn't have done and makes the overall experience better for the company regardless of how it is for the customer.
Yeah, but if it ends up being better for the customer, then I don't care. If it doesn't, then I think it ends up being bad for the company. So overall, unless it's related to money.
I should look up. Wait, let me look at some examples honestly, because like I want to see some of the gray areas because these actually do get kind of interesting.
No, I'm sure there's some related to money where it's like there I'm like. Yeah, if you're charging people based on deceptive practices.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Fuck! Oh no! Oh fuck! Oh, that's such a sell, dude. I forgot to opt out of camp.
Oh, rip.
Did you opt out?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well.
How much is it?
It's like 600, dude.
Oh,
like
what?
400.
For everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Dude, oh.
Alright, now I guess I gotta learn the... No, I'm kidding.
September 12th. Oh. Bro, they make you opt out. This is fun of
That's a dark pattern, yeah.
Every year they make you opt out. Like, why can't I just opt out permanently? Oh,
wait, let me show you some of these. Oh.
Yeah, I'm in, bro. Oh.
But I want to show you some of these dark patterns. I want to see which of these you think are wrong.
This is wrong. Dude, can I email them and
No, but what's the deceptive practice, dude?
You could change your decision to opt in or out until September 12th. By Cooper. Play-Doh. By Cooper. Dude, I want to email someone about that. Fuck, dude. Ugh.
But look, tell me which of these you think are bad. Yeah, this is when like... Wait, it shows an example.
Okay, let's do a little segment here.
Yeah. Alright, we put this on the screen editor. No, okay.
Why don't you go there?
Okay, I'm right here. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
do you see? Can you see it?
No?
Not really, probably.
Yeah.
But okay, wait.
Because you can just tell me which one, and I'll tell you whether I think it's bad.
Wait, can you see it? Okay, confirm. Well, can I show you the example?
You can just read it out, no?
Okay. Well, no, but this makes it easier to see. Like confirm shaming. Would you like to? Yeah, we would like to send you notifications allow or no, I prefer to bleed to death. That one I think is pretty harmless.
Yeah,
but,
I think that's hilarious.
yeah, no. My medic
let's
would like
read
to
it
send
out,
you
though.
notification. Yeah, so my medic would like to send you notifications. You'll be notified about the latest tips, sales, and discounts so you and everyone you know can stay alive. Allow or no, I don't want to stay alive. Trying to
think that's
shame you
hilarious.
into the option that makes them
Yeah,
more
I'm
money.
fully
I'm
down.
fine with that.
I'm fully
yeah.
down.
Okay, now we have disguised ads. The user mistakenly this should be illegal, dude. This is when like an ad is just like a download button
Yeah.
where it's like a virus
No,
behind it.
I don't see any, like, I don't have any problem with people doing that.
Really?
I hate
have a
it.
problem with
I
people
hate
doing
it. Yeah, but you can't just be like, yeah, make it illegal.
No,
because
I'm not.
like
I'm
it.
not. Okay, I'm not
Like-
actually suggesting that
Oh, okay,
necessarily,
yeah,
but
that's what I'm basing it off.
I think
Like,
an ad
I don't
like
think
that.
this is immoral either. Like,
I think an ad that's that
it's just
dishonest is illegitimate. Potentially, it's honing into illegitimacy or fraud.
yeah,
It's getting close
I
to
agree,
fraud.
I agree. I think. I think
And
it's
I would
not
be
worth
okay.
my time to
Yeah,
figure this
I
out.
wouldn't. I don't think someone should be forced to pay tax for a different agency to stop them from doing that. But I still think an agency should stop them from doing that.
Sure.
Okay. Fake scarcity. This one's classic. Like, only 3 left in stock. 12 just sold today. And then it's like that's been there for like the past 200 days
Yeah,
in
so
a
they're
row.
just
like,
lying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. That's obviously I don't like that.
Fake social proof.
But
yeah.
we've talked about doing that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, I did that on my newsletter. Oh, yeah, that's an example. Yeah, remember on my newsletter when I had no members and I was like,
Join 2,000
I was like, join
members.
2,000 people. Yeah, I was like, and then you were like, bro, you can't just lie like that. I'm like, I'm testing to see if to see if people convert at a higher rate if I change it to that. And he's like,
How's
well, are
that
you
a
going to tell the
justification?
truth? And I was like, well, yeah, eventually, once I hit 2,000.
No, but I think you if you did it like join 2,000 people and you meant like your subscribers, you know,
Yeah.
then like
No, but I
think it's
didn't.
great.
That's not what I meant, though.
Yeah, but in your head. that's
No,
what you
but
can
I
do.
meant to imply. Like, I knew what I was doing. I meant to imply that many people.
You meant to scam people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, this was positive for the user. They got deceived into getting good tips. So that goes by kind
No,
of what
I,
you
I
said.
still don't like unless they like gave the feedback that it was a good tip. I don't see that as legitimate.
Yeah, they did. Here and there.
Okay, well, I only see it as legitimate for the specific people that
Okay,
gave the
okay.
feedback. Like our animal videos, like most of the people were like, awesome, and anyone
yeah.
that said fake, well, now you know it's fake. So
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about you anymore.
Okay, this one's classic. This is called fake urgency. I mean, similar concept, like sales ending. I mean, dude, there's Shopify apps that just have all this like built in, where you just like enable the countdown timer and it just starts the second someone enters the site.
Yeah, I mean that's just lying again.
Hard to cancel. That's what I talked about.
You know what
hidden
would make
hidden
it-
costs.
You
Hidden
know
costs.
how
Dude,
I
what do
would
you think
that?
about that?
You know how I would do the fake urgency thing?
Yeah. How?
I would just end the sale and then start a new sale.
Well,
That-
no,
that
yeah,
in the
no.
truth.
It is a legitimate sale.
That ends and starts a new one. Then?
Yeah, it ends for when the user enters the site, there's a sale that has a 15-minute timer.
Is there a second
and then goes
where
away.
there is no sale?
I think
In between
I
when
think
the
you can
timer
set
ends
it
and
up
starts
so
again.
that the timer can start. Like you can set it in different ways, but I think by default the timer just hits 0 and then you can't use that anymore. But if you just reload the site, you can or something.
Yeah, so I don't think I would have it be a different sale for the same amount. So just that sale ended,
Okay.
and then a new sale started.
Okay. What do you think about?
Like I'm
I mean,
fine.
okay.
It's still dishonest.
It's lying.
No,
and
it's not
it's
dishonest, it's
fraud in
misleading.
it's fraud in substance.
No, I don't.
Not in
I
form.
disagree. It's definitely not fraud. It's misleading.
Okay.
It's not fraud. It's
Okay.
not pretending to be something it's not. The sale is ending.
It's pretending to make someone think it's something it's not.
No, the sale is ending.
Yeah, but if the user knew that a sale was going to restart right after, then they might take different
That's
actions.
your opinion.
Okay. If the data proved
That's your
that, would you
assumption.
change your mind?
Pixels on the screen.
Okay, get out of here. Okay, hidden.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Wait, no. This is one I
I
actually want your opinion on.
Okay.
Hidden costs, because you've dealt with this directly.
I hate that.
Is that illegitimate? The user's enticed with a low advertised price. After investing time and effort, they discover unexpected fees and charges when they reach the checkout.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, for all of this, you'd have to like come up with an actual system to determine what you're saying is illegitimate or not. For
Wait.
me, it's like
Nagging. Please turn on notifications. I mean, that's not that
yeah. I
bad.
mean, I hate hidden costs, but at the same time, I think it's like fair game, to be honest. Because again, a company could compete by not having hidden costs, and if people actually cared enough, they would switch to it.
But the point here, though, is that people, in a lot of these circumstances, they're operating with System 2, not System 1.
Yeah, I know, but again, to me, that's their choice. Like, you can see that and say, okay, I'm gonna, turn on my awareness for a second here and see that I don't like this at all. And if it was enough of a problem, then...
But what if it's a lot of people's first time purchasing?
Well, they're probably gonna do it again
And then, that company would go out of business if they have no repeat customer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So would you switch to a platform that was more expensive but had honest prices from the beginning, other than like Uber Eats?
I'm not sure. I mean,
Okay.
it depends, right? But I don't think it's enough of a problem for me to make a big sacrifice to shift. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's actually that big of a problem.
Yeah. Okay, we have obstruction. What is this? Oh, yeah. This is like when there's cookies, for example, instead of it saying like accept or decline.
So system 2 is what? You're just unconsciously doing stuff?
Yeah, I think, or maybe it's the reverse, system 1 versus system 2.
I remember learning about the
Oh, sorry.
Kahneman
Yes,
framework.
system 1 is fast, intuitive, automatic. System 2 is complex, my bad. So like almost all of these things are preying on system 1 that's trying to just quickly get to the next page where you're not really thinking
I don't
about.
think that there's that clean of a separation ever. Like I don't
Well,
buy that.
I mean, I think the example of like defaults, I think price anchoring is actually a perfect example of no matter how much system 2 you put into it, humans will get anchored by a higher number. This is proven statistically, even when people have time to analyze the problem.
What does that have to do with it being a instinctive, immediate thing?
That even if you're trying to not let it influence you, you can't.
But that doesn't matter. Like that makes it go outside the framework because
No.
it doesn't matter
Well,
whether
no.
you're on
The
system
issue.
one or
No.
system
But the issue is that website designers have control of the environment. You don't.
Yeah. So.
So if you're in their environment, they're gonna do a lot of things like.
All I'm saying is, if it doesn't matter whether you're using system 1 or system 2, then the whole.
Sorry. The point is that under voluntarism, things that aren't really system 1, that aren't really system 2, that are like highly system 1, it's more debatable whether that's like a choice in the way that we mean it when we say voluntarism. Like we can both recognize that, okay, even if you invaded someone's private property by like throwing away their cigarettes to help them quit smoking, that could be a good thing for the person. And it's like, oh, well, if that was a good thing for the person, why wouldn't they just choose it? It's like, because they weren't, if they could really feel like they could control every single part of their actions, they would stop, but they just have difficulty with it.
This is a kind of a sleight of hand because we're not talking about voluntarism under every aspect of every single thing. We're defining the rules of like what constitutes voluntary behavior, and like if you just are walking around, right, and you're doing it unconsciously, like we still treat that as you're choosing to walk around. Like, this is not, someone else isn't controlling your behavior.
Yeah, but there's a range, in my opinion, of how much active control there is, and especially when it's involved in like a transaction.
Yeah, sure, but
that's when it gets more.
It's still voluntary as long as you did it. Like, again, we can say, yeah, there's edge cases, obviously, where, like, you've been so manipulated that, like, we don't want to allow it. But you can find a different reason for that other than, like, you didn't give voluntary consent. It was just too deceptive, for example.
Yeah.
About what its quote-unquote true value was. But it gets tricky when you start doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then you're letting someone else dictate what the value is.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I think the cleanest way to do it, the cleanest theoretical way to do it is to go based...
The cleanest way to do it is just to allow people to...
Well, it's to go based on what people would define as their own goals, even if they themselves don't hit it. So, like, no one's New Year's resolution... No one...
How does that apply to buying something?
It applies because that's what you could consider as, like, a more... So, like, for example, if someone's... No one who weighs 300 pounds has a New Year's resolution of, like, gaining weight. Unless you're like a sumo fighter. Almost all of them have the New Year's resolution of losing weight, yet they still will make a decision when they go into the store, like buying Doritos, which they know doesn't hit their goal. And so designing stuff in accordance with what people define as their own goal is, in my opinion, the best thing you can do. Now, I'm not saying that you have to, like, forcibly take away...
It's like a virtuous thing to do, sure, but I'm not going to say, like, people are, committing a crime by selling Doritos in places that, people are, like fat people are going to be there. Like...
Yeah. I don't think they're committing a crime, but...
Again... I don't think it's that easy to determine whether, like, a fat person that just eats Doritos all day is having a terrible life. That's not always true.
That's why I like to go based on how they define it.
Again, what someone says and what someone's doing, again, there's so often different things. And
yeah, but if they're regularly, like, if they, for example...
This comes very close
no, but if
to
this person is
deciding what another person's life should be. And
no, I'm saying
overall,
they get to choose.
No, like, what they say has what they say is not the only criteria for what they're choosing.
Okay, fine. If we look at their behavior and they've also signed up for rehab and therapy to try to, work on their addiction with food, and they have, like, a history of doing that for 2 years, and we see by their behavior and what they say that they are really trying to quit eating Doritos and they aren't able to, then are you, like...
Then am I what? Like,
more in favor of...
I'm not in favor of anything. Like, if they want to go buy the Doritos, they can go buy the Doritos. If they don't want to do that, they don't have to. If a society chooses to model its shops based on letting people have the healthiest diet and very little, hedonistic joy, that's up to that society. I have no room for trying to tell other people what their best life or what life they should live, even if I can say your life would be better here.
No, but you want, with the anime thing, you want to increase the amount that these people are paid by, with however method. That's something you still want to do, like.
Yeah.
And that's you.
But I'm not going to force anyone to do that.
Oh yeah. I'm not yet suggesting force.
But I still don't think.
Point.
I
I'm
don't.
just
I
saying,
still
like,
don't think.
No, but if you ran it,
are doing are like, they're like, doing something extremely horrible or anything. Like, I don't see that as true.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're just doing something that's self-interested, that's up to them. But I'm not. I want to take their candy and give it to other people because that's in my self-interest.
Give it to other people who aren't, like, struggling with obesity, you mean?
No. Sorry, I want to take the money from the big businessmen and give it to the creative people because I think that makes the anime industry more sustainable. It's completely self-interested.
Oh, yeah. But would you similarly want to come into the big grocery stores and no longer allow Doritos at eye level placement, even if it's less profitable?
If someone wants to do that, that's great. They can do that. And if it wins, it wins. If it doesn't,
And if it
doesn't.
doesn't win, then you're okay with a society with more obesity where people are now paying for Doritos, which they don't want, and therapy, which they don't want, to try to get off their addiction.
Yes, if that ends up happening, yes. Because I still believe that's a much better society than one where we control what people can and can't do.
What if
based on our conceptions of what a better life is.
What if you found out?
Because that always goes wrong.
Well, I think it can go wrong, but there's been again, this is an example where I think there's policies that allow full decision making. Yeah. You know the one I always talk about, which is like
again, you can't,
not
how
allowing.
Do you control those people?
What? Which people?
The people that are controlling other people.
What do you mean?
You're saying that it's a good idea to allow some amount of control over other people's behaviors. How do you control the people that are controlling the behaviors?
You don't.
Okay, so that's fine. They can have, close to unlimited power, but that's not going to have any negative consequences.
Well, I'm not really for like unlimited power.
Okay, so Nancy Pelosi's husband earns more than, the best traders in the world with no consequences.
Well, that's an example of where I think it goes poorly.
No, that's a consequence of government power.
Yeah, that's existing. A negative consequence.
No, but that is an inevitable consequence.
Yeah, I recognize that. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you control those people?
You try to have checks and balances, and you try to have,
and
you try to have an armed society. But like, I'm not claiming that like you can get rid of that. I'm just claiming that there are some policies that these governments can do that are beneficial, and there are some that are detrimental.
You can believe that.
You don't believe that there are. Do you believe that there are some that are beneficial?
I don't care to answer that because again.
You don't have to think it's worth. You don't have to wink. No, but you don't have to think it's worth. No, but it's, bro. This is not a theoretical vacuum.
It is a theoretical vacuum.
Okay, in neighborhoods where they didn't allow, like, if you found out that in neighborhoods where governments didn't allow like ultra processed food to be at eye level, they were still available in every store, but they just couldn't have eye level shelf space. If obesity dropped significantly, and
yeah, I would think that's a great thing that ended up happening, and I also think there's a better way to do it.
What's a better way to do it?
I don't care. I don't need to come up with it. That doesn't mean I don't know what the non-best way to do it is.
I agree it's the non-best way to do it.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I mean, I agree with.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, and the best way cannot be through government because government intervention does not allow for proper innovation ever. Yeah. That's not possible because you're using force.
Okay. Well, this is where it goes back though to me to that decision of legitimacy in the first place, because we agree that. Well, no, we already agreed from the beginning that using force to stop illegitimacy is okay, in some cases. It can be okay.
You're defining it weirdly now.
Like, okay, fine.
It's proportional force. Sure.
Yeah, sure. The people who stopped criminals or arrested criminals with a proportional sentence weren't doing something illegitimate.
If you have a community where everyone's like, you have a small community and they have like a grocery store and they decided to not have, you can even look at it in a home, like a family of 4 people, they decided to not have their sweets in the open because their kids won't be able to see them, and so they'll be less fat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Obviously, I think that's a good thing. So my problem is, again, the means, not the end.
Yeah, I think we agree, though. I agree with you that that's a suboptimal solution.
No, but you brought this up as an example of good government policy.
No, of when a policy can be beneficial.
Obviously, like, a policy can lead to some good stuff. It's a stupid point to think that I would contest. Like, policemen have killed rapists in the act. Like, I mean, what am I going to say? Because it was government, it's like they did a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like that, you don't need to argue that. So obviously that's not what I'm contesting.
Okay, I mean, you're right. I probably shouldn't have.
But it's fine. I know what you're trying to say, and like.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we broadly-
I agree.
we broadly agree.
My point is if I don't. My point is if it's very difficult for me to see a way of this situation solving itself, if
Okay, that's where I strongly disagree. Because just because you can't see a way doesn't mean that the anarchical relationship between human beings, which is again the primary driver of innovation, won't find a better way.
Okay, I just view it.
If that's what people want.
In the
again,
cases where a government came in, like a small government came in and just changed that one thing, I would see it as the same way that I would see.
If the people voluntarily agreed to like being subject to a certain authority, then I have no problem with that. That's still a part of the anarchical relationship because it was voluntary.
Okay. Yeah, well, I know, but this is the current forms of most governments couldn't have started that way.
Yet they wouldn't be that way. But again, a colony where, like, and by colony I mean like a neighborhood where they've elected, everyone signed up.
They elected by unanimous decision.
No, it doesn't need to be unanimous because they all agreed to go by the majority vote.
Oh yeah, but that would have had to be a unanimous decision.
Bro, that's just consent. Like, that's what every company is. You have Amazon. It's huge. So you can't say a huge organization can't exist through voluntary cooperation. Like, Amazon is way bigger than certain governments. So
yeah, but yeah. When Amazon started, though, was it able to maintain its private property through its own force?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, the point is that for any governing body, okay, all of these discussions center around private property, in my opinion, because back to the example of like, if I just claimed your room as mine and told you to get out, if there was no ability for either of us to ever use force, then we'd have no way of establishing who actually owns what. Because if two people have the same claim to something, how would we sort that out?
We don't have the same claim to it.
If I went in your room and told you to get out.
It's my room.
Yeah, so if I went in and said, this is my room.
We don't have the same claim.
If I claimed it was my room.
Yeah, but it's not.
Okay, so what makes it your private property rather than mine?
So you can go with whatever theory you want to go with, but like a very common one is that if I purchase this room from somebody, then I've voluntarily taken it from someone. Now, if I built this room, then I've mixed my labor with the land.
Yeah.
And so I have ownership over this room.
Yeah, but no, my point is...
Either way, I own the room. You saying you own the room doesn't make you...
Yeah.
So, like, I don't see your point there. If I now kick you out using my hands and feet, that's legit.
No, but if
force.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but for the borders of your room to exist, like, there has to be a possibility for force. Like, I still think...
So what? I don't understand. There's nothing, no one is saying we don't want force structure.
Yeah, so the analogy I was drawing... Wait, so the analogy that I was drawing with Amazon is that was a company that was started where everyone agreed to the rules, and Amazon didn't use force anarchically.
Of course it did. It used force in the exact same way you're outlining now, because if one of their employees just took control of the company and said, all this money is mine now, they would get kicked out with force, with guns if necessary.
Yeah, but so that's what I was saying, with guns from the U.S. government. Like, they would call the police.
That's just because of the situation that exists. But if they were in a random place, they would still use their own guns or private security or whatever. Like, whatever relational system
yeah,
that
so-
human beings come up with. But that has nothing to do with the fact that all the people there voluntarily agreed to be there, and it still grew into a giant behemoth. So the point about, I don't even think it
Well, no, the
matters
point
that
is it grew into a ginormous behemoth without like any illegitimacy, but that's because
How do you know? It probably did. They probably had a bunch of like shady shit that they dealt with internally. Like, do you think every bit of arbitration that goes on in private companies, through whether it comes to fraud or whatever, is settled through government intervention? 90% of these cases are settled through private arbitration.
Yeah, I know. You've told me that before.
Yeah, but that matters because you don't need government intervention to settle most of these cases.
Yeah.
And again, most human beings are not crazy people that are underlying just gonna go all fucking, Rambo on everybody.
Yeah.
So it is a problem to solve, but you have to live in the real world where you can't just theoretically go, well, underlying, man. If the red comes out, like, the whole world's gonna.
No, I don't think that would happen. I'm just saying my point with bringing that up is that I think that usually for any big thing to form, there needs to be. It's extremely rare for there to not be like a little bit of base illegitimacy for something to form.
Where's the illegitimacy in the context of what I'm talking about, where everybody voluntarily agreed to be a part of this organization? Where's the illegitimacy?
I mean, probably like it would trace back probably to like how the land. I do think the way that like America got the land in the first place was illegitimate.
That has nothing to do with Amazon. What are you talking about? Amazon.
Well, I don't
is
know.
an
I don't know
online
the
company.
history. I don't know the history of Amazon. But
Assume it, but it has nothing to do with American land.
my example is that if you trace back to like the beginning, there's usually some like.
No, there isn't, unless you're saying my conception of property ownership is illegitimate, which you can have that opinion, but I just think it's completely wrong and unfounded and not based in how human beings feel about property ownership most of the time.
Okay, yeah, no.
If somebody buys a piece of property, that makes it a legitimate transaction, and most people, because buying isn't just this magical thing where we invented a scam called money, it's just value that you provided someone else. Most people, when they see, oh, you did something good for someone else, now you can own this property by transferring that value to this other person who worked hard to build this house.
Yeah.
We think that's great. Most people do.
Yeah,
So this is like as objective as a human system can be.
Yeah.
And if you want to question that, well, we're just all gonna ignore you.
Yeah. No, I agree with that conception.
Okay, so then I don't see any illegitimacy at the bottom of it at all, other than the fact that they incorporated under the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only part of it, probably.
Yeah.
Unless they did some shady shit, and like, the slavery question was interesting. The enforced slavery labor question was, but that still doesn't make the, part of the organization that we're talking about, which is the main labor force and the main organization, illegitimate. Especially if it's too. The way most of these companies probably do it is they hire someone else, and they hire someone else, and they hire the
slaves.
Yeah, it's like then we're all doing the same thing then.
Yeah.
And so then the definition expands to everyone, and then it's
Yeah.
just like, what are you doing?
And then if a definition expands to everything, then
Well,
it's a
that's
useless
already on
definition.
camera. So, and we only care about content. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I mean,
I don't see the.
wait, but do you see if a government did what I said, like they just removed fast food from eye level, it reduced obesity drastically. Everyone in the town was very thankful. But and it was voted. Let's say this person was voted in by let's just say a 99% majority, but not everyone consented to this form of governance. For me, I would view that very similar to a poor person stealing a loaf of bread from a rich person. Except for the fact that
again,
I would view it
in a vacuum, sure. In the real world, that allowing that to happen, which is what you have to base every moral decision on, has every other consequence of government, like asset forfeiture.
And same with the bread, right?
No, because
Well,
again,
if you're in a society where people can
exactly.
start stealing,
Yes.
And
But
so if you're in a
no,
society where people can start taking
precisely,
power,
yes. If that was true, it would be. But you know what most human beings are? Not thieves. You know what most governments are? Power hungry.
Okay, I see.
That's the difference.
I see. That's
So
a good,
if
that's a good point.
yeah,
That's a
so
good point.
if people were mostly thieves, and you had to, there's a perfect example for this actually, where like in certain cultures, certain behaviors emerged, and those cultures had to find counter practices to suppress those behaviors because they were counterproductive. You can think of, I don't want to go here at all, but you can think of monogamous relationships as an example of this. But the point here is that like thievery is not something that
People want.
if one person lets it go,
then
everyone's
everyone's
just going to do it.
start,
That's not a thing.
Yeah,
That's
people
not
don't
normal
want
human
to be
behavior.
thieves. Yeah.
Most of the time, no. Whereas every single government, you can find areas of corruption, power hungry, bottom feeding, extortion, manipulation, torture, etc., etc., etc. The worst crimes in humanity ever.
Yeah.
So, great point if we look at it in theory, but in practice, that's not.
But do you think certain politicians can not become power hungry?
But whether they can or cannot has nothing to do with the fact that the structure is one that, usually is a malevolent one. Like it attracts people that would be, even if there are some that aren't.
I have another question though. Wouldn't a society, even if it's a governing body that started with 100% voluntarism and they unanimously agreed to like democracy or dictatorship or whatever form of governance they picked, wouldn't the power hungry problem still exist in that situation where like the government in that society gets bigger and bigger?
So this is
until
the
it eats
exact
itself?
same argument for any like Fortune 500 company becoming a monopoly and then extorting prices. Yes, there are tons of people that want to do that.
And
but
then
you
that
know what
government
stops them?
will just lose.
Market mechanisms stop them because.
But what if they force the people to not leave the country, like China?
But then that's the description of the status quo. You've just done the whole thing.
That's
where it's
illegitimate.
No, you've done like the biggest criticisms of anarchism are descriptions of the status quo. That's happening.
No, but that would happen. My point is that same thing would happen. Like, what if a leader just decides to? The same problem of China not letting people leave could arise under anarchism.
Yeah, it's happening at a large scale now. It would happen at a much smaller scale then.
Okay.
Yeah, of course it could happen. But
Yeah.
rape will happen, thievery will happen,
and
murder
it's
will
already
happen,
happening
cancer
now,
will
yeah.
happen. All
Yeah.
of that would happen. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not a utopia.
Yeah.
In any way, we reject that idea
Yeah.
completely. It's just going to be better. That's
Yeah.
it. Because it's already better when it's anarchistic.
Yeah. And okay, well, this brings me to the point I was trying to make remember at the very beginning the
No.
point I was trying to make.
No.
Okay, well, the reason I brought up dark patterns
Oh, right. I forgot.
was because one of the things is wait. Oh yeah, one of the things it's hard to cancel. Remember I brought that example up?
Yeah.
So the rule that policymakers are trying to implement for this, which I thought was a pretty intelligent way to frame it, is canceling has to be at least as easy as joining. Here's why this reminded me of government, though, because my belief that it's only legitimate if governments fund people to leave the country.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be like a morally legitimate action for me to think like it's a positive one or has at least a positive effect.
Oh yeah, but my point is it's probably morally illegitimate if they don't do that for the people.
No matter what a government does, it's morally legitimate because of the of the entity doing it.
What's more? Wait, what?
Because it's enforcing a rule on this company that it didn't enter into voluntarily.
That the company didn't enter into?
Yeah.
Making it hard to cancel?
No. The relationship with the government is not one that's voluntary at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about voluntary governments.
Oh,
As
if
well.
if a voluntary organization did this, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So what I was,
Well, then I don't
but
care.
I
Then
mean,
you're
even
done.
I think it should still be done just for. I agree with you that any governing
would
body,
just invalidate-
any governing body that started without unanimous agreement is
Well,
illegitimate.
it gets pretty easy.
I agree with
if
you, but
it gets pretty easy if a voluntary organization's doing it, because then you can just. Well, it's not.
no,
easy,
but
it's
no, but
simple.
I think it no. If a voluntary organization if everyone in a government unanimously agreed that every newborn cannot leave the country, that's an illegitimate law in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's illegitimate. But this is why I thought it was interesting linking to this,
Okay.
because the reason that it's illegitimate is because, see, this is where I thought this was kind of clean. It's not at least as easy to leave as it is to join, because the way they joined was instantaneous. So the way that someone has to be able to leave in that method has to be funded by the
No,
government.
that's not. I mean, sure.
And now,
But
if
that's not
no,
why,
but
though.
That's
not
but
why.
I would listen. I would
But you
apply.
can't-
No,
I
but please,
can't say
I
that's
would
why.
no, but I would apply this if someone went through like a 2-year journey of like application, and then the government said like, okay, like this is what you have to go through, but if you're gonna do this, like you have to stay, and if you want to leave,
Yeah, sure.
yeah, they would. It would be
Sure.
legitimate for it to be at least as easy for them to leave as
That's
it is
fine.
to join.
But
Yeah.
the baby thing, I can't agree with you because that's not.
No,
why.
even though that's not why, I just
can't-
thought it was a funny
no,
consequence
that's
applied.
just
That
cool in
applied.
a different way, where it's like, yeah, that's one system. Again, thing is, I don't have to come up with systems because, again, like the
All you need
world
to
will
know
do
is-
that.
Yeah.
But it's a cool system where, yeah, of course, if if it takes 2 years to join an organization and they say, well, it's going to take 2 years for you to leave it, I think that's legitimate, more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
But the reason it's not for babies is because there's no consent involved. You can't. This is human beings. This is adults speaking for another potential human being. I'm just going to use that word now, because
Yeah.
I don't want to get into the whole. What is a potential? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like at 18 or whatever they decide is the age where you can consent, that's when you have to ask, do you want to be here, to make it legitimate. And if they don't, then you let them go. And you have to be able to let them go if they want to go, because they're their own person now.
Well, there's probably some other way, other than being born, that someone could become a citizen instantly, where it would align
Well, this
with my
is just
point.
an American thing that they're a citizen instantly. Like that probably wouldn't be the case in most places.
Oh, if they're born there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in other countries it's like you have to be of the ethnic descent of that country.
But I'm saying it would be better under like, voluntary societies in a lot of places where they would just treat babies as a special class of citizen.
I agree.
Once-
But I'm talking about people. Is there a way for people to get instantaneous citizenship in
You
places
just
where
buy
they're
it.
okay,
Probably.
right? So if you buy, so if you buy citizenship, if you buy instant entry to a country, then you have to be able to leave for at least the same price instantly.
No, but I don't believe in any of this crap. Like, if they are buying it and they understand that to
Going
leave
into
is going to
it.
be hard,
Yeah.
then yeah. But it is interesting, all this stuff, because, under, like, again, it applies to anything, right? It's as much as, like...
There
under
are such
anarchism,
thing as
you would
illegitimate contracts, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
but-
So yeah.
Yeah, but again, all of this would be way faster. Again, there's still going to be fraud. There's still going to be, a ton of, like, duplicitous behavior. It's just going to be solved way more efficiently and faster because, you can run through simulations of this so many times, and there are already established ways of doing this.
Yeah.
But, the same problem will probably come in where, like, you want to join, like, a commune, and they slip in a, agreement
An
where...
illegitimate
Yeah,
dark
you
pattern.
have to stay in for like 10 years.
And you're like,
and
wait,
whatever.
what the fuck?
And then but the good thing about this
And then
is
the
this is what
third
people
party
ignore.
security will come in.
People
and
ignore
then-
that people don't want to do that, and they're gonna fight hard to get out of it. And most people around them are also gonna think it's unfair. Like
Yeah.
everyone in this community like 20,000 people aren't gonna be okay with this guy getting fucked over, and they're
Yeah.
the ones, you know, and they'll all leave.
Yeah, bro. And you know, I saw a TikTok.
That's true. About like it was data comparing like the effectiveness of nonviolent resistance movements versus violent ones.
Oh, dude,
And
my country was founded
yeah.
on nonviolent resistance.
Nonviolent resistance were like I think 5 to 10 times more likely to bring about the desired change.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's
Which is like
civil rights.
that yeah.
Tiananmen Square didn't do anything, to be honest. Sorry.
No, but that alone should be enough evidence for people that it's like, wait, but how are you gonna change the like status quo without government? It's like, well, every time it was changed was through non-violent resistance without force.
And
So
then replaced by another government usually.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean, the Nepal thing is not a good example of that.
yeah,
Of violent resistance. But yeah, I mean, the Discord was non-violent.
it's like yeah, they burned everything down, but they voted in a Discord, so which
This
was
is
peaceful.
so hilarious. This is such a good step in the right direction, in my opinion, because it's a complete clown show. And once people realize that, you know, this is a clown show, we can all participate in the clown show together. But at least we all understand that it is one. Like, if someone can get voted in to run a country on Discord, how much, you know, legitimacy does that position have in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. My point is, it never had much in the first place.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, it's like, yeah, we'll see. Social media, Bitcoin, the internet.
Oh, our mic's disconnected.
Oh, how long ago?
I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
No, but it's still probably picking us up. Oh, did this thing die?
It's bad. Oh no, yeah, my receiver's like almost dead.
Was it off the whole time?
No. I could tell because your mic. Okay, now it's on, but it started flashing like
I
pretty
want to
recently.
know when, because I actually enjoyed that discussion.
Yeah.
What is that? Unlimited access? Yeah. Wait, I might have to clock out. Wait, what? How did I not get the call?
Oh yeah, like this is crazy. Yeah, look at this, dude.
What?
With the New York Times, you can subscribe. You can subscribe by just clicking on this button, but then to unsubscribe, you have to speak with a customer care advocate.
Yeah, well, the New York Times has been a propaganda machine since the 1960s. So, yeah.
I have a question. Which news sources do you think aren't propaganda?
TikTok, decentralized news source. No, I don't know. I mean, I just kind of more see it as like, if there's some kind of news, I'll just see like a bunch of different takes, and you know, whatever is common amongst them is probably true.
Yeah.
You know, unless there's mass deception, and then everyone else will.
Well, have you seen
report
that
on the
one?
mass deception.
Have you seen the one where it was like 60 different news networks all with the exact same thing?
That was fucking crazy. We all know that there have been disinformation about.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're all saying the same thing. Please be advised. That
Yeah.
Oh, it's so dystopian, dude. They all have the fucking same truth. That's impossible without like some kind of.
Oh yeah, the mic's
coercion.
disconnected again.
Dude, why is my receiver just so low on battery? Okay, wait. We have been recording for 79 minutes, to be fair.
Wait, does this have battery left? Oh, this must have ran out. Okay, let me charge this. This case, it's like AirPods. The case charges it. Just
Yeah, I know. I have the same thing, but it's smaller and more compact and.
It doesn't have a
easier to
windscreen.
put on and,
does it have a windscreen?
No, it works fine without. It doesn't need a windscreen.
Bro, best
Perfect marketing.
the best reframe of 2025. Yeah.
Yeah. You might be thinking, why doesn't that mic have a windscreen?
Yeah.
Well, ask yourself this: why does yours need one?
Yeah. You know the slogan? It's like reassuringly expensive.
yeah. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. I think I've seen that before, and I don't know what I thought.
Oh wait, where's? Okay, can I?
Yeah, you
plug
can
this?
plug it back.
Can I use your ultimate plug system?
Wait, how does this?
No,
Oh, no, I
you
need to
gotta-
take this out of here, put that in, and then switch that out. And then this will charge.
Boom, bap, bomb. Pow.
Okay, yeah, that was a good discussion. It's still gonna take me more times. Like,
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just answering your question. I have no like real stake in you getting convinced on this because I don't see any major benefit.
yeah.
I don't think you're gonna be.
Well, to be fair,
I don't think you're gonna be leading the charge against government, even if you are convinced.
Yeah, I mean, I think I already agree with most of the points of anarchism, which is that government is illegitimate. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you.
Fuck. What?
Dude, one thing that I was also thinking about today, which is like super lucky, is, bro, like, imagine communism was the better system. Oh no, wait.
No, that would be great. What are you talking? If it was, then it would be getting better. Like,
No, but the theoretical point would be, yeah, it's unfortunate though, because then you have to undergo, like,
no, if it was a better system under what we think is better, then it's just a contradiction.
no, I mean, it's a better economic system.
Again, if it was a better economic system, it's probably a better system.
No, but restricted. No, the point would be if it was a better economic system. Now you're at a cross point between
No,
better
that's usually
economics,
not
but
true. That's
worse
usually not true.
governance.
What do you? How can you have? That's usually not true. Like, if you have a super healthy economy, like, I mean, again, I don't know. I see it as a contradiction. Like,
Okay.
if it was-
Well, my point is, it's lucky that.
I don't think it's lucky.
Okay, it's
just
good.
that
It's
you're
good
kinda
that
looking, again,
it's good that a necessary feature of giving people volunteerism is better economic outcomes.
I see it as the reverse though. Like, again, a big part of what people want is good. Again, I feel like you're seeing it as more like a theoretical thing. Like, oh, we want all these things. Like, good economic outcomes.
I'm glad that higher GDPs are
Everyone
reached by.
gets- No, but that's.
I know that's not what people want. Like, they want a
Yeah.
higher quality of life, which
and
is
you
better
get
with
that
all. Yeah.
through better economy.
Yeah, but okay, I'm glad that innovation is quicker when people get to choose who they're governed by. Or when there's less. When there's
I guess
less.
it's a small
I'm
point.
glad that when
I'm
there's
not
less
super
restrictions on people. Yeah,
they do better.
yeah, there's more innovations usually.
No, always.
Okay.
No, I think always, more or less.
Has there been one instance?
I said it's
Almost
enough
always.
that like
Yeah.
that like I didn't always write the right word to use. No one uses always, meaning always.
Yeah.
Also, I was in my room listening to you, and then I never asked about this because I just forgot about it. But then I got reminded because of something else. While I was in my room and you and Cooper were here talking, did you mention Rashika? Did he mention Rashika last time?
Maybe.
You don't remember. That's fine. Because I ran into her and she was like, I've been seeing Cooper more. So I was like,
Oh, really?
Then I remember.
I mean, I saw Aiden with him at Club Fest. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I also didn't realize he was still here because he's graduated. So.
Aiden?
Yeah.
When does he graduate?
He's graduated.
Oh, he graduated?
He's graduated for the third time.
Okay, wait, why is he still here?
That's what I started this with. I don't know why he's still
Oh.
here because he's
Oh.
still graduating.
Oh.
Bro,
Oh.
what the fuck?
Yeah, wait. You don't know though? Why? I just said that.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Because I thought he was gone. Like, I guess he's just living here and doing it like an online internship kind of thing. But
Okay. I mean, I'm probably gonna be here like over the summer for at least parts of it.
After
But,
graduating?
Yeah, but probably not.
You're gonna keep this apart.
For no, well, we have the
Least till
least till
later.
August. Yeah, we have it till like August.
Oh. Alright.
You're like, well, I'm going to Denver.
You know, it seems like a waste of money.
You
could
could sublet
my
it.
room,
Yeah, you could sublet it.
But yeah.
I mean,
It's
I-
so far now.
Yeah. Maybe my sleep. I've been taking the ultimate Huberman sleep stack.
Is it helping? Can't tell. How much did you spend?
2 million.
billion per month. Like if it's all experimental drugs. What? No, I feel like you don't even feel like any downsides. No, just
It hurts, but other than that,
no, it just does nothing. No effect. But like not even a placebo? Just nothing. Wait, is the AC on? Oh, I think it might be. Or I think I did. Because I was getting heated up during that conversation. And then like, at the start, I was starting to get heated up. But choosing not to do that, to me, is still a deep. This is my opinion. You can
well,
have
do you think
you can have different.
this was like a debate when I was like more involved in the gym community? Like a huge debate was whether obesity is a choice.
Yeah, like, dude, this
But
is
I feel
not-
like it's
this is not
super
an
semantic.
interesting- Yeah, I get. It.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not an interesting question because, like, what people actually base their decisions on has nothing to do with this. Like, it's so irrelevant.
Base their, what do you mean, like
Their opinions on politics, their opinions on what policies should be enacted. Again,
But I don't think that's not true.
that's 100% true.
I changed my policy beliefs based on changing my beliefs about obesity. I used to think obesity was much more of a choice, which
You
affected
don't-
my policy
You do
beliefs.
not, and
Or
I'm
like
telling
what
you
beliefs I would
I'm
vote
telling
on.
you that's not the case. You change your policy decision based on what you think would help people more, not based on the semantics.
No,
of-
that's not true.
Then
Because
you're an idiot. Because if you're not trying to help people more, then
no,
what
because
are
it's
you trying
what
to do?
level of help I'm willing to
Yes, but it's still the goal. It's not the semantic of whether or not being fat is a choice.
No, I used to
And
think.
what is a choice? And like whether or not, being fat is like something people are actively choosing or it's just passively being done to them. Like,
In the past, I don't think I would have supported a policy as much. Again,
let's say it was a completely voluntary.
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
And-
completely voluntary society where everyone unanimously agreed on a democracy as the form of government. Okay. So then I get the chance.
I
I-
almost had it. I'm sorry for the whole idiot thing. It's like unnecessary,
It's okay.
completely, but I just.
It's okay, but yeah, under that thing, I don't think in the past I would have voted for removing, even though I think it would help less people be obese, removing Doritos from eye level at grocery stores, because I thought that people could just grind more. When I recognize now that, like, you always theoretically could, but there's so many factors at
No, but I'm
play in
asking
so
you a
many people's
question.
lives.
If
Yeah.
you don't know whether it leads to more fat people or not. You just know for sure if they remove groceries from eye level, the life expectancy of 80% of the society goes up. Will you lower it, or will you vote for it or not?
Now,
At any point in your life.
I think I might have switched my mind on that, depending on it depended.
No, you have that information. Whether you think being fat is a choice or not, would you have voted yes based on the fact that you know?
Well, it depends whether I thought. You're saying the life expectancy thing is unrelated to their obesity?
No, you don't
level?
know what it is. That's all the data you have, and you know for a fact it's rock solid.
Okay, I mean, I think depending on how much I trusted my government to not go overboard at the time.
No, it's a
even
voluntary
in a
society.
even in a voluntary society.
No, this
government-
isn't government. This is just the food regulation.
the food regulation
And they're
center.
telling you exactly what they're doing. They're just doing that.
And like in the past, they've been able to just implement things without being power hungry, etc.
No, if they do that, then people will just move somewhere else or vote them
Okay.
out or whatever.
Yeah,
This would benefit
I would
them.
vote to live in a society where fast food, extremely unhealthy, ultra processed fast food can't be at eye level in grocery stores. Yeah, especially if I knew. Yeah, if I knew it
regardless of
raised the
whether or
life
not-
expectancy for
yeah,
everyone,
that,
I would.
whether or not you thought being fat was a choice.
Well, being fat and life expectancy. You're saying whether I thought life expectancy through exercise was a choice?
No, I'm just saying that's the information you have plus everything else you know.
And I know that like obesity is linked to
No,
lower life.
let's say you're in your past self where like you don't know that, or yeah, of course you know obesity is linked to life
Yeah.
expectancy, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, about my past self, I think I might not have voted yes for that because
Really, that's.
I think
unfair.
people have.
Like, you know, with this one simple change, 80% of your population's life expectancy goes up by 10 years, but you won't do it.
Because if I thought it was much more of the person's choice, I don't think
No,
it's
you're
worth.
again, you're trying to make it more of the obesity. I tried to make it a no-brainer, and you still said no. Which is why I don't think you're basing this decision based on any rational, like, thinking, or you don't understand my question. Because, like, you can make one small change that nobody really gives a shit about. We haven't even said that it's going to decrease sales or anything. And 80% of your population gains 10 years of life expectancy. I tried to make it as no-brainer of a thing, and you still said no. So now I'm just confused.
No, well, if I thought again, unless I'm
Don't think,
I'm probably misunderstanding your question. If you don't want to go for pursue this further, this is my last thing, I guess.
Okay.
If I thought that those people could reach the life expectancy gains through their own decision making
They could
without
increase it even more than that.
without more regulation.
It's
Like if I thought all of those life expectancy gains were 100% achievable by regular people.
you don't know that.
Well, that's what I thought, though.
No, but I'm giving you a hard statistic. That's just an opinion.
No, the hard statistic you gave me was this policy will increase it
Yes.
due to the regulation definitely being there.
Yes.
But my thing is, I think this could be increased
You don't
without
know
the
that.
regulation.
But you don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but you do know that this regulation will lead to that. That's why it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to do
No, but
that.
in the past I thought there was
People?
in the past I thought there was a very, very high shot that through just a little bit of
that people
education.
could get rid of
that
obesity,
people-
yes, but I wasn't even basing
No,
it
that
on
people would be able to increase their life expectancy by
but,
making healthier
but
food
80%
choices.
of the population can't increase their life expectancy by 10 years just by making mildly better choices.
No, yeah they can.
No, they can't.
Yeah, I would think
No,
so.
they can't. What?
Dude, obesity is caused by like a caloric surplus of like a couple hundred extra calories a day.
That doesn't matter.
If they just ate
it's irrelevant.
slightly more whole
It's
foods.
irrelevant.
No, but obesity is like the
It's
leading
completely
cause.
irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant because the point is it's still harder than the simple choice of.
Oh yeah, but that has the drawback of that is more regulation.
No, it's not. I told you it's not. That's the only regulation that's there.
No, even if that's the only regulation, it's still more regulation.
How is that a bad trade-off? Like people can get even healthier
It's
if
not-
they also make life choices. I'm making this like a magical fairy thing.
It's not a bad trade-off if there was no way without the regulations for them to improve
You don't
their
know
life
there is.
expectancy.
I'm telling you, you don't know there is.
Okay, well, but this is where I'm conflicted because based on the information
fine.
that I did know,
You
I
could-
would think
like,
that there.
you-
I
but
would
that
think
would be an
that there is,
additional
so.
thing. That you could gain 20 years with that. But this is like just an extra 10 years based off the regulation.
Again,
Like it being this difficult.
I
makes
struggle.
no sense to me. So,
Yeah,
like,
I think I'm misunderstanding your question.
It's fine. Whatever. I've forgotten what my original point.
No, the point was that you think that I wouldn't have changed my mind based on how I felt about how much agency people have over their own, like, health and obesity level.
Well, I think again, there's just like a point of regulation where if it does enough good without doing enough harm, like that's just what people care about more. And even if you don't, I think that's still the
No, but in a society though, where here's an example where I would, even if it would make things better, I wouldn't vote for it. Is like if in a society we could just like vote to redistribute wealth. I know that's your least favorite word. So that if people who just didn't want to work but were able-bodied, intelligent, capable, but just didn't want to work, wanted to if there was a policy that could just fund these people, even out of just money from the ether, that wouldn't be a policy that I'd support.
Okay, well, I
'Cause-
probably would. Because if it costs nothing to no one and it somehow gives these people fulfilling lives, which
No.
isn't true in reality.
Okay, yeah, that's
then-
what I.
No, but it's not. That's,
But I didn't
that's
set that
not
up.
better.
No, I didn't set that up in my hypothetical. I just said that they could get the same amount that they could get paid the same amount as a job
Yeah,
and
but
just
I
never
told
work.
you that there is no drawback to my thing, and you still said no.
Well, the drawback is the
Other
fact
than the
that
regulation.
yeah,
No,
but
that's,
that is
that's
a drawback.
Nothing. No one gives a shit about that.
That fast food companies couldn't, that real businesses like fast food companies
I'm telling
couldn't.
you, I said there would be no loss in profit.
Oh, okay.
I
wait,
said that.
sorry. Okay.
I said that, and you were like, no.
Okay. So all those companies were happy with it.
Yes.
Didn't care because they were still making the same
Bro,
amount of
it's
profit.
a voluntary society. They just all leave and go to a different place.
Okay. Yeah, I would be in support of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
forgot
I
my
didn't realize
point,
that.
man. But it doesn't matter. All I was trying to say, that was supposed to be a 1 second thing. All I was trying to say, and even if it's not true for you, which is fine, most people care more about the overall good versus bad impact than the semantics on principle
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah.
What that was related to, I've also.
It was related to when I said that, well, since I changed my mind on how much personal agency people have, I would have also changed my policy views.
No, but that was related to something else where you were talking about just in general.
Oh, the first thing was in general is voluntarism.
like
Yeah, so this is my point. The
your
semantic
policy is
conversation.
informed by system one or
yeah,
system
exactly.
two. You're saying that
Policy is informed.
you're saying
mostly
in
by
general people still
Yeah,
want
exactly.
the better thing.
Yeah, and I mean it's not like generally speaking, the amount of
Better is
no, the amount of like thought given to the semantic conversations is not in any way practically useful when we're
Okay.
talking about like voluntarism
yeah.
specifically. Sometimes semantics are necessary.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not.
Yeah, I do think the obesity a choice. I think it is more than a semantic question. At least for me, the way my mind
Okay,
changed
for
on
me-
it was more than a semantic question, because in my head earlier I didn't consider like the fact that other people have like lives where like they can't dedicate time always to. They don't have enough time and money and resources, and when a fast food place is extremely quick and simple and cheap, and they don't have time to cook or prep or Uber Eats something healthy, and you have hormones that are highly influencing your decision-making behavior, you can like almost guarantee someone's gonna pick the convenient option if they have kids at home, and like there's so many things at play that it's like you can't just expect someone to fucking like meal prep chicken and rice.
Yes, you can, and there are societies that do, and those societies do better.
Where you expect people to meal prep chicken and rice.
To not eat like pigs, yeah. Japan, like there's a culture of healthy eating there, which overrides this idea, because again, there's tons of sweets and junk food and crap there too. But again, the culture is, thin, healthy people are, expected of you, and what's expected is what people do. There's trade-offs to that too, but yeah, the idea that you can't expect people to do that is completely false. In fact, expecting them to do it is part of what fixes the problem.
Yeah. Okay, in America's current state, I can't expect someone to do that.
Well, then you'll never get there.